She called me her sister, then slept with my husband. He hugged me before she left. Right there on my front porch. Arms tight around my shoulders, cheek against mine like always. "You're not just my best friend," she said. "You're my sister." I watched her drive off with that stupid smiley face air freshener swinging from her rear view. Then I went back inside and saw my husband's phone light up. One message. From her. Still thinking about last night. I froze. Not because of the words, but because of the emoji. That damn peach emoji. The same one she always sent when we were joking about doing squats or getting summer ready. It used to be funny. Now it made my stomach turn. I didn't even touch his phone. I just stared at the screen like it would change. Then I heard the water running upstairs. He was in the shower. I sat on the edge of the bed and waited. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. It was worse than that. I felt calm, like the moment before a storm hits. When the sky's too quiet and you know something's about to break. He came out wrapped in a towel, smiling like it was just another Tuesday. "Hey babe." I didn't speak, just pointed at his phone. He looked at the message. His face fell. But not in the way someone does when they're caught doing something unforgivable. No. He looked annoyed. "You're going through my phone now?" That's what he said. Not "I'm sorry." Not "it's not what it looks like." Not even panic. Just blame. Like I was the problem. I remember blinking at him. Thinking this is who I married? And her. My so-called ride or die. The one who held my hand when I cried about losing my job. The one who slept over when we painted this house together. The one who toasted me at our wedding. To the best woman I know. Now sleeping with the man I married. I didn't cry. Not then. I stood up, looked him in the eyes, and said, "You two deserve each other. And I deserve better than both of you." That was the last thing I said to him. What I said to her. That came later. After I burned down every illusion they thought they'd get away with. Her name was Simone. And when I say we were close, I don't mean occasional brunch, birthday card close. I mean finish each other's sentences, know what you're thinking by your eyebrows, ride or die kind of close. We met freshman year in college, both undecided majors and completely lost. I had a roommate I hated. She had no roommate at all. By week 3, I was sleeping on her floor. By week 4, we were splitting everything. Groceries, laundry detergent, Spotify logins. We joked that we were basically married before either of us ever dated seriously. She was the loud one, the bold one, the one who'd march up to the DJ booth and demand they play Beyoncé right now. I was quieter, a little more cautious. But with her, I felt braver. She hyped me up for job interviews, made me change outfits 3 times for first dates, and once chased down a guy who ghosted me just to throw his hoodie on my front lawn. I called her my vault, because I told her everything. When I met Jordan, my husband, she was the first person I called. "He's different," I told her. "He better be," she replied, "or I'll slash his tires." She was joking, I think, and she seemed to love him. Maybe too much in hindsight, but at the time I thought it was cute. "Girl, if I weren't your best friend, I'd steal him," she used to tease. I laughed. Every time. I thought she was just being dramatic. I thought we were solid. When we got engaged, she helped plan the proposal party. Wore white with me at the bridal shower. Wrote a toast for the rehearsal dinner that made everyone cry. She was there the night before the wedding, sleeping on my couch, helping me write my vows. I remember us lying in my living room, faces smeared with face masks, wine glasses in hand, laughing until we cried. She said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." I mean it. And I believed her. I never noticed how often she sat a little too close to him, or how she changed outfits if he complimented mine, or how her hand lingered a second too long when she passed him his drink. I never thought I had to protect my marriage from the one person I thought would help me protect everything. But that's how betrayal works, right? It comes from the ones you'd swear never would. The first time I felt it wasn't dramatic. It was a barbecue, just a casual Saturday cookout in our backyard. Paper plates, music low, Jordan manning the grill. Simone brought pasta salad. She wore these tiny denim shorts I'd never seen her wear before. Jordan whistled when she walked in. "Damn, girl. You're trying to outshine the whole party?" She laughed, flipped her hair, and looked right at me. "You better hold on to this man, sis." I laughed too, but something about it stuck. That night I said, "I don't love the way he talks to you sometimes." Simone rolled her eyes. "You're reading too much into it. That's just how he jokes. You've always been sensitive like that." I let it go. I didn't want to be the jealous wife. But then there were more things. Inside jokes I didn't know about. Shared glances across the room. Once she was over and her phone buzzed. She grabbed it fast. Way too fast. I asked, "Everything okay?" She smiled. But it didn't reach her eyes. Yeah, just my mom being annoying. But she never answered the text. Just tucked her phone into her purse and changed the subject. I asked Jordan later, "Have you and Simone ever talked without me?" He blinked. "What? Why would you ask that?" "I don't know. You just seem close lately." He scoffed. "Babe, she's your best friend. If you're uncomfortable with something, just say so. Don't accuse me of weird stuff." So I didn't press. I let myself believe I was being paranoid. But my body knew. I stopped inviting her over unless it was a group. I kept my phone close. I started locking the bathroom door when I showered, even when I was home alone. Just little things. Until I found the receipt. It was in his jacket pocket. The one he wore to game night with the guys. A dinner receipt. Deux entrées. 1 cocktail. 1 glass of Merlot. And a tip signed with his full name. The date matched a night Simone said she was homesick. I didn't say anything. Not yet. I just took a photo. Saved it in a folder labeled. In case I'm right. The folder grew. A few screenshots. Calendar inconsistencies. Photos of her sick days paired with Venmo transactions. I wasn't looking for drama. I was looking for clarity. Because when the people closest to you lie, they don't just mess with your trust. They mess with your sense of reality. I kept waiting for them to slip. But they were careful. Too careful. And that's what gave them away. Normal people forget details. Normal people overlap in stories without trying. But they were rehearsed. One Saturday, Simone came over while Jordan was supposedly at a conference. She brought a bottle of wine. Same kind we always used to drink when watching reality TV and roasting terrible boyfriends. Except I wasn't laughing that night. I asked how her week had been. She said, "Work's been insane. I've barely had time to sleep." I nodded. "Funny. Jordan said he saw you at that new cafe on 5th. Her face cracked. Just for a second. "Oh yeah, right. I forgot. He must have walked by. I was grabbing a latte." Jordan had never said that. There was no cafe on 5th. I just wanted to see if they had their lies aligned. They didn't. 2 days later, I borrowed his laptop. "Just need to check something real quick," I told him. He hesitated. That was enough. But what sealed it? A hidden folder. Labeled T. Password protected. But he used the same password for everything. Inside were photos. Hotel receipts. A reservation confirmation sent to her email. The one she used for travel points. I didn't confront him right away. I made copies. Took screenshots. Sent them to a burner email. I needed a record. Not for court. Not even for revenge. For me. So when he tried to spin the story. Gaslight, deny, deflect. I wouldn't have to wonder anymore. I would know. That night, I watched him sleep. And I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel sorrow. I felt distance. Like the man in my bed had already become a stranger. And the girl who used to be my sister? I had a plan for her too. But it wouldn't be loud. It would be precise. I didn't want chaos. I wanted clarity. And when you've been lied to long enough, there's something delicious about knowing things they don't know you know. I spent the next 3 weeks playing the role. The sweet wife. The loyal best friend. I answered texts like normal. I made dinner. I tagged her in a meme about friendship that made me sick to my stomach. But behind the scenes, I was lining things up. I met with a divorce attorney. A woman I found through a friend who went through something similar. "Tell me what you need to protect yourself," she said. I slid a folder across the table. Receipts. Screenshots. A timeline. "He won't see it coming," she said. "Neither will she," I replied. Because this wasn't just about him anymore. It was about her. Simone, who cried at my wedding. Simone, who called me forever, and meant it. Just not the way I thought. She was hosting a birthday dinner. Said she wanted a chill girls' night. Wine, music, comfort food. I offered to bring dessert. But what I really brought was the truth. I printed 10 copies of the receipts and messages. Sealed each in a plain envelope. Labeled them with hearts and glitter pens so they looked like party favors. She smiled when I arrived. "You always go all out," she laughed. "You have no idea," I said. Halfway through the night, I stood up with my wine glass. "I just want to toast to loyalty," I said. "To friendship. To women who uplift each other. To the sisters we choose." Simone smiled so big I thought her face would split. "So I brought a little something," I added. Everyone clapped. I handed out the envelopes. Told them to open them at the same time. The room went quiet. Paper rustled. And then, the gasps. The looks. Her face turned to stone. I didn't say anything else. Just walked out. She ran after me, heels clicking on pavement. How could you? She hissed. That's the question I've been asking myself for months, I said. You called me your sister. So I treated you like family. And you slept with my husband. So I treated you like a stranger. And that was the last thing I ever said to her. Jordan didn't yell. He didn't cry. He didn't beg. He just looked caught, like a man who never thought I'd actually leave. I served the papers the following Monday, delivered by a professional, straight to his office. His assistant called me later. He seemed stunned, she said. Good. I moved out 2 weeks later. I didn't take everything, just the things that were mine. My books, my grandmother's dishes, my piece, the wedding photos. I left them. Let him deal with the frames and the silence they now held. Simone tried to call. Blocked. She showed up at my new place once. Mascara smudged, wearing a hoodie like she was the one who got betrayed. I made a mistake, she sniffed. No, I said. You made a choice. She opened her mouth to respond. I closed the door before she could. I didn't know her the last word. The funny thing about betrayal is, it frees you. Once you've seen the worst in someone, they can't scare you anymore. I stopped checking my phone. I stopped explaining myself to people who already picked sides. I stopped apologizing for walking away from something that hurt. And people noticed. Friends who once rolled their eyes at women who overreact suddenly understood. I didn't say I told you so. I didn't need to. I started therapy, took a solo trip, ate dinner at restaurants alone without pretending to be on my phone. I laughed again. A real laugh. Not the polite one you force when you're exhausted. I started sleeping through the night. No more dreams about missed calls or catching whispers behind my back. Just quiet. And light. I once believed losing your best friend and your partner at the same time would break me. But all it did was show me how strong I was for surviving people who tried to dim me. One day, I passed Simone at a cafe. She saw me, looked away fast, and I kept walking. Without anger, without pity. Because there's something even more savage than revenge. Peace. And I wore it like armor. I used to wonder if it was something I did. Something I missed. Was I not affectionate enough? Not present enough? Did I overshare with Simone? Did I make it too easy to betray me? But here's the thing about betrayal. It says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. I gave love. I offered trust. I let people in without locking the doors. That's not a flaw. That's my strength. And if they took advantage of that, that's on them. Not on me. I've changed since then. Not hardened. Just wiser. I trust my gut now. I speak up sooner. I don't explain away red flags just because I love the person waving them. I've built a life that feels mine again. One that doesn't require permission to breathe. I surround myself with people who celebrate my wins without envy. People who show up when there's nothing in it for them. People who don't flinch when I shine. And most importantly, I'm proud of the woman I've become. She's bolder. She's clearer. And she's no longer afraid to walk away when something starts to feel like silence in disguise. Sometimes late at night, I reread my old journal. The entries from the days when I felt crazy. The ones where I questioned everything. My memory, my worth, my value. And I want to hug that version of me. I want to tell her she's not wrong. She's not overreacting. She's not too sensitive. She's just standing too close to people who benefit from her silence. And the moment she steps back, everything will become crystal clear. I no longer need closure. I no longer need revenge. I have something better. I have truth. I have peace. I have me. So if you've ever trusted someone too much, if you've ever called a snake your sister or a coward your husband, let me remind you of something. Some people bring clarity into your life. Others remind you what you'll never settle for again. And in case they're confused, you won't be settling for them, because you too are finally free.
Thanks so much for watching. If you love a good revenge story, or if you've ever dreamed of getting the last word without saying much at all, you're in the right place. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new savage ending. Because around here, karma always hits different.